why is it that marketers are so enamored with this idea that brand purpose can drive a stronger result? Hey, I'm Jo. Welcome back to the Business Brief. We know from the data 2025 that 92% of marketers say that brand purpose campaigns improved their brand reputation and that the content that was brand purpose led drove a better response on social media in engagement with consumers. But all of the data that we've seen about this, all of the quantified research data on campaigns specifically, has shown it to be less effective. One of the most robust pieces of research on this was by Peter Field. In examining purpose-led campaigns and those that were not, it showed pretty clearly that there is an overall underperformance in purpose-led campaigns, an effectiveness score of 1.1 versus 1.6. Now, there were some examples within that where a purpose campaign was able to drive a stronger result, both in acquisition of new customers, but also in some brand health metrics. But even there, the difference, the delta, was pretty negligible. There are a number of marketing gurus that have provided a perspective on this. Mark Ritson, for example, talks about that opportunity cost, but also around the hypocrisy that's involved in some of this and whether or not it passes the 3 C's test, one of the C's being corporate authenticity. What's interesting for me in this is that when we talk about purpose, we often do the talking bit. We're much more interested in what we say about purpose, what claims we're making, what we're making a stand for or against. So much of it is about communication. And so it got me wondering, why is it that we have to proclaim our intent, which is what my episode with Ron Tite was all about. It's really figuring out what is that crossover between corporate social responsibility, what your company stands for and its values, and how that's demonstrated through their brand action and brand purpose, which is often conflated and confused.
If we fundamentally believe that the best marketing is an amazing experience that a customer, consumer, client has with the product or service they buy, if we believe that, then marketing needs to report to HR or HR needs to report to marketing. Because then what we do is we go, oh, the external promising part, that aspiration part that we're communicating, that's the easy part. Like, that's the easy part. But what we've done is we've made that the most difficult part, and we've thrown way more money at that. And it's the sexy part of the business, is the promise.
So much of the effort and the emphasis, particularly on purpose, is about the say. It's all about performance. It's about, demonstrating that you believe in something. But does the consumer actually care what you believe in as a made-up fictional brand that's essentially there as the face of whatever product or service they're buying? Or do they just want you to go and do that thing? I do think it's important for an organization to define the values that it lives and breathes and to make those very well known, repeated constantly to the employees throughout the organization. We have a lot of attrition in businesses. We have a lot of new starters. We have a lot of people that have been here since the beginning and have ketchup in their veins. We need to be constantly reminding people of what the company values are. And more than anything, I think it's important for leaders in the organization to be demonstrating those values. When I worked for the Mars organization, we had the 5 principles, which were started by the Mars family back in the day. And not only were they the things that we talked about as being something that we need to exemplify through our people, it was also celebrated with a ceremony, awards, where we rewarded the people that were demonstrating the actionability of those values. My favorite principle was always freedom. It was the one that I think was almost forgotten about by most people. But the freedom for us to be able to solve problems, to reward initiative and ambition in the organization. There's nothing wrong with aiming far out into a space that you don't currently operate in. There's nothing wrong with stating an intent about what the company is or the brand is or isn't. But there has to be a way inside of an organization where we reaffirm, reiterate, repeat, and reward the actionability of those values and that purpose. As many famous people have said over time, purpose, like intention, is useless without action. Thanks for letting me think out loud. Make sure you subscribe to catch the next business brief, and I will see you next time.